Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel My Time, My Teacher. In this video we will talk about the second chapter of class 12th, demographic structure of Indian society. In the previous chapter we also talked about other countries, but in this video we will only talk about our own India. Our first topic is size and growth of India's population. See, India, since it is developing country, so the population is living all over the country in a mixture of the rural and urban areas. The people, those who are living in urban areas, they are very lucky because they have got the facilities, they have got the infrastructure of the country, they have got the infrastructure of the government, they have approach to education, to medical facilities, which are very important to survive. As well as they have the job, they have the earning opportunities. But if we talk about the population in the rural areas, they are living far away from the infrastructure of the government, from education, from medical facilities, and obviously from earning facilities. See, we have two types of population, especially the one is rich, the another is poor. The person who is rich, he thinks that I should have less children. Imagine he is having less children and giving education, he is having two children and giving good education to them, good opportunities, and what they will do? They will earn accordingly. If they both are getting the salary of 1 lakh per month after getting education, the total income becomes 2 lakhs. That is the mindset of the people who are rich, who are able to give good education to their children. But at the same time, if we talk about the poor person, then what he thinks? He thinks that if I am having two children, because I am quite away from the facilities, from the infrastructure, from the education, I cannot educate them much in a good quality. So what will happen? My children, if they are earning 200 rupees per day, then they will earn only 400 rupees. At the same time, if I am having 5 children and they are earning 200 rupees per day, I will get 1000 rupees in our family in a day. Right? The mindset of the poor person is that number of people, number of children in the family means more income in the family. Less number of children means less income, because they cannot go to the job of 1 lakh per month. Right? They are earning only less amount. So that's why if there are 10 people in the family, those who can work, it means there can be 10 times income of their family per day, per month. That is the mindset of the poor people. India is a mixture of both at much difference. The rich people, they are very less. The poor people, those who are living in the rural areas, those who are quite away from the infrastructure of the government, they are more. So that's why the population is growing at enormous size, at a very fast speed. The government is not able to control that because of certain reasons. But like this, if it will happen, what will happen? The poverty of this person will continue, because again, these all 5 people, those who are having, they are not getting the education, then their children will also not get any education, no education. Because they are unable, they are illiterate, so how do they know the meaning of education? If they don't know the meaning, how can they give it to somebody else? Education is something which is only understood by the people, those who are educated. If somebody is thinking that I am uneducated, what can I do? So if मैं अपनी जिंदगी जी लिया तो मेरे बच्चे भी जी लेंगे. That is, it is leading to the more illiteracy in the country, to the more poverty in the country, again the illiterate children will not be able to earn good, they will be earning the same as these people are earning. Right? That is the size and growth of the population in the country. Size and growth, that is increasing regularly. Right? Next, another reason behind this is that, like, the birth of girl child, because that most of the Indian families are running towards the birth of a boy child in the family, because the boy child is going to take the hereditary forward, taking the family forward to the next generation. So a boy is compulsory in the family. The government has banned the abortion, government has banned the systems, the technologies which can find out about the sex of the child in the womb. So what happened, the families, they are having a lot of children in the hope of a boy child, boy baby. Sometimes they are having 5, 6, 7, 10 even girls to have a boy baby. That is the policy of the government, but the size of the population is growing in the expectancy of that boy baby. That is another reason behind it. Now we are coming to the next topic. Our next topic is famine. Famine is something which is going to lead us to, like, mass destruction, or we can call it the people, those who are dying at a high level, at a lot of numbers. It is of two types. The one is man-made, the another is natural. Man-made, like the atom bombs, man-made atom bombs are there, like you can see Corona, COVID-19, the diseases, the viruses, the bombs, the destruction things which are created by human being only, and that is leading the people to die. That is man-made famines, how the people, they are doing it all. The natural famines are earthquake, flood, drought, tsunami. Sometimes nature, sometimes God also wants to prove that He is still here with us. So He wants to just give a sign of destruction, because we are killing the nature, we are destroying the nature. So He also wants to destroy our own world. So He is using these methods, earthquake, flood, drought, tsunami, to kill lot of people together. That is the famine, when the death rate suddenly becomes very high, when a lot of people die in the country, when the whole city is abolished, nothing is left, whole city is destroyed, and many generations also. Same happens in the man-made disasters, atom bombs, like for example Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know what happened? The people are still quiet, they are avoiding to pass through that area, because that is so polluted, that is so radioactive, that a human being can't live happily over there. That is the man-made disasters. This is how the death rate increases and the population of the country goes down. Now the next topic is declining sex ratio. See, I told you sex ratio, what is that? Is a ratio between male and female in the country per 1,000. Declining sex ratio, it means the number of male or female, one is up, another is down. But which one is up, which one is down in the country? Because in India, especially in North India, we see that the number of female, that is going down, while number of male, that is going up. Now what are the reasons? The number of female, why it is all going down? The number of female is going down because of the dowry, because of the social respect, right? The two main reasons are there. The one is dowry, the one is social respect. Dowry, in especially in India, it is a system that the bride side or the girl side gives something as a gift to the bridegroom's side. Dowry in Hindi it is called Dahej. Dahej means the plus Hej. The means diyate, Hej means with love. Whatever is given with love from the girl's side to the boy's side is called Dahej. But right now it is not like that. It has changed its meaning. Right now it is believed that whatever is given is not Dahej, but whatever is asked by the boy's side, by the groom's side, should be fulfilled by the girl's side. Only then it is called Dahej. It is like the human being that is sold like a commodity in the market. The boy, he's an engineer, he wants this much Dahej. He is a police officer, this much. He is an IAS officer, this much. It happens that the job, the social respect of the family, the economic resources of the family, boy's family, they are attracting more Dahej, more dowry. So because of the dowry, the people, they try to avoid the birth of a girl child in the family. They think that whatever we are earning, that goes to somebody else's house. It does not remain with us. The girl has to go one day with some other boy to some other house along with a lot of dowry. So whatever our earnings we had, that will also go along with her. Right? That is the one reason behind it. The people try to avoid the birth of girl child in the family. That leads to the declining sex ratio. The second is social respect. It comes in two times, social respect. The one is about the girl child. If a girl child is having affair, love affair with some other boy, having love affair with some other caste boy, having love affair with some other religion's boy, then the boy's side remains safe. But the girl side, they feel that their social respect has gone down. The society treats them very poorly. Society treats that it is the responsibility of your family, that why did you allow the girl to go out, why did you allow the girl to have love affair with that particular boy or particular caste boy, particular religious boy. This is how the family feels quite disrespect in the society. Sometimes it also leads to the many deaths in the family, horror killing and all that, but it is very difficult to get it all to survive in the society with the disrespect. That also leads to the declining sex ratio. Another is the hereditary. I told you, it is believed that to take the family lineage forward to the next generations, we need to have a boy child in the family. Only a male child can take the family lineage forward to the next generation. So the girl child is not. If the people, those who are having the first baby as their boy baby, they do not want the next child to be the girl child. Either they stop having children or again they want the same. So they are not thinking about the female child, the girl child. They stop their children at the same time when they got their boy child. This is how another social respect that also takes them to the less number of female, less number of girls in the society, again which leads to the declining sex ratio. The next is literacy. Literacy, education. The government is running lot of policies. Right to education, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, education for all. The government has made it compulsory to give education to every child till the age of 14 years. The education is free. The government is providing midday meal, the books, the uniform, everything, so that the children can become educated. The literacy is the thing. The literate is like something which is going to change the life of human being. Education is the only medium. Because of that, you can change the life of human being. Nothing else. Without education, the human being is also just like an animal without horns and a tail. So the difference between the human beings and the animals is only the education. When the people are having education, they get good job, good opportunities, good mentality, good behavior, good expectancy in the society. That all happens because of education. Education is only the way which can lead us to the less population growth, which can lead us to the social evils will be away because of that only. An illiterate person always follows every social evil. It is only the literacy which helps him to understand the difference between the social evil and the necessity. Right? So the government is doing lot of things to run it all. The next is rural urban differences. Rural, the villages, urban, the cities. God made villages, the human being made cities. What was the reason behind it all? Why the human being made cities? Human being has made rockets, satellites, medicines, medical instruments to save the life of people, working as a second God. But why then the human being, they made cities? As I told you, the cities, they are made to get livelihood, to get job. Due to the industrialization, lot of cities took place. Urban areas established, and in rural areas there was no development. The people, instead of developing the villages, they left the villages and came to the cities, to the towns to earn their livelihood and got settled there. They didn't go back to the villages. If they were going back to their home, to their villages, the villages could also develop. But the villages are still far away. See, still in 21st centuries, there are so many villages which are quite away from electricity, which are not having the approach, the road approach. They don't have the Pakka road. They are not having the electricity. They are not having the telephone lines. They are far away from the mobile networks as well. This is all happening in the villages. The person who is living in the societies of urban areas, they are very difficult for them to live in the villages. The village people, they are living very low life. The lifestyle is very poor, very pitiable. But the people, those who are living in the cities, they are enjoying their life because of the money, because of the livelihood, because of the professions. The urban areas are divided into two parts. The one is megapolis, another is metropolis. Megapolis and metropolis. Metropolis is the cities which are having only towns and cities. Right? Only towns and cities. There is no village, no rural areas. While megapolis is the city like we have NCR, National Capital Region. NCR is not only Delhi, but all the surrounding areas of Delhi are also coming under the category of NCR. That is called megapolis. That how the people, they are doing it all. Now the next is population policy of Indian government. Indian government's policy in 1975, the contemporary Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, she started a program that was mass, like for the people, those mass sterilization. Lot of male members of the society, forcefully even, they were forced to sterilize themselves so that they could not give birth to the children in the future generations. They are just to control the population of the country. That was the only program which was started by the government to control the population of the country. After that, the government has not launched any program. It is free for everyone to have children, 2, 10, more, 1. It is unbelievable. Government does not have any particular rule for the growth of population, for the number of children to have in the country. All are free to give birth to the children. In such kind of cases, in such kind of scenario, it is very difficult to stop the population growth. The government is not worrying about that, the population growth, the poverty of the country. They are worrying about their votes. The government thinks that much population will be there, it means we'll have more voters, we will be elected. All the parties, they are worried about the votes, not about the country, not about the growth of the country. In the absence of particular population policy, the country has already reached 131 arab 30 crore, right? And counting. It is growing at a rapid number. It is multiplying basically. We are able to control the death rate because of the medicines, because of the infrastructure, but there is no control over the birth rate. The birth rate is increasing year by year. What will happen after this then? The country will remain poor always, because it is very difficult for the government to give infrastructure to lot of people in comparison to less the number of people. If the number of people will be less, they will be living a good quality life. The government will also be able to give them good infrastructure in comparison to more population. So the country even still does not have any population policy to control it, right? It was chapter number 2. We are ending it here. For any suggestions, for any kind of doubts, you can comment or you can text me directly. Thank you very much.